YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been quite a while. It's been about a year since I posted, right? And before I get into what I'm going to talk about, I just want to sincerely apologize to all of my supporters and all of the people that are subscribed to me or follow me on socials. I'm sincerely sorry for not posting for an entire year. Now, in this video, I'm going to get into why I haven't posted for an entire year. A lot has happened, a lot. But I'm also going to be discussing my journey up until now and discussing what happened in Thailand, because a lot happened. And also might be talking about a little bit of other things such as men's mental health, and also just the job market, the state of the world. We're just going to be talking about a lot of different things, all right? So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Oh, and also one thing to note before we get into everything, this video is recorded on my iPhone 17 Pro Max. It's not recorded on my old camera. The videos I used to record, they were recorded on a vlogging camera. So I just wanted to switch it up and try to see what the quality is like on my iPhone. So without further ado, let's get right into it and comment if the quality on this video is good or bad or not. So, okay. I was living in Thailand, living abroad. I was living there on a tourist visa. I lived there on a tourist visa for about, I believe, 6 months. So what I did was I went there, right, on a tourist visa for 2 months. I went to the immigration, got an extension for a third month, so you get 30 extra days for a total of 90 days. And then after my 90 days expired, I went to Laos to do a visa run, reset my visa, and I traveled by land. But let's get into a little story time real quick. So when I went to Laos, I went there by train, and I stayed there for a day. And I believe I was staying in Vientiane, Laos. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I was staying in Vientiane. And I had quite the experience trying to get back into Thailand. So when I tried to enter Thailand back by land, I was denied entry. And this was like a really, really big ordeal at the time, because the immigration officer that I was being denied entry from was really disrespectful, to be honest. The dude was like snatching my passport out of my hands. He was just like rage baiting me pretty much, trying to get me to react or do something that could have gotten me in big trouble overseas. And I didn't give him the reaction, obviously, because for one, I didn't want to get banned from Thailand, and for two, I don't want to, go to jail. I don't have a big ego when it comes to things like that, So I'll be the bigger person, and, I'll let that shit slide, especially since it's not my native country. But anyways, this guy was very disrespectful. He didn't really speak much English, but he denied me entry into the country, and I had to stay in Laos for another day. So I was being escorted back to Laos by Thailand immigration at like midnight, and I remember being on the bus, and I forget what I was trying to ask this person, but there was this Lao person on the bus, and I tapped his shoulder, and he completely ignored me. And then I like said his name, or not his name, but I was like saying hey, completely ignored me. And yeah, that was funny. But I ended up finding a taxi driver. The guy was very, very nice, very respectful. He helped me out. He gave me a ride to a local hostel. He dropped me off at an ATM so I could get like money too as well. And he was just overall a nice guy. And also he let me use his phone to make calls, because when you're like traveling overseas, like you have to get eSIMs, and it's like I wouldn't say it's a lengthy process, but it's pretty tedious trying to like get service in a different country. So he let me use his phone. He dropped me off at an ATM, and then he dropped me off at a hostel. But I remember that night very vividly. It was very, very stormy. Like, I'm talking about, it was pouring outside. And honestly, like, looking back, it was quite the experience. I wouldn't say it was fun, but it was quite the experience, quite adventurous. And I ended up staying the night at the hostel. The hostel was horrible, by the way. I'll never stay in a hostel again. But I ended up staying the night there, and I believe the next morning I purchased my flight to go back into Thailand because they were a bit more lenient about flying into Thailand instead of going in by land. So I flew back into Thailand the next morning. I think the flight was like, honestly, like 45 minutes, maybe even shorter, but it was a very quick flight. I landed in, I think I landed in Don Muang Airport. I think I'm saying that wrong. But when I went through customs and immigration through Don Muang, the immigration officer in the airport, she was very, very nice to me. See, this time I was a bit more, I approached the situation with finesse. I was like, okay, let me see which immigration officer has a smile on their face, or let's see which one is in a good mood, right? So I picked the one that had a good mood. I went in her line, and she questioned me a little bit. She was like, "You've been staying in Thailand for a while. You should get a long-term visa." I was like, "I'm just visiting friends and stuff, and so forth." And then she eventually let me back in the country, and I just reset my visa that way, and I got another 3 months in Thailand. So after that, I lived life. I did what I did out there. Had some nice experience. I also started to take up modeling in my next 3 months there, which was very, very fun. And I really enjoyed that experience, being able to model and just being able to, like, take pictures at different places. It was very cool. Met a lot of nice people. Met a lot of really hospitable people as well. But my advice to you guys is, if you're trying to go into Thailand and live there on a tourist visa, don't do it, because I went there under the impression of thinking that I could just, do visa runs, reset my visa by going to different countries. Honestly, that shit's dead. Don't do that. If you're thinking of doing that, that is not a good idea. You are going to get denied, or you're just going to deal with a bunch of tedious bullshit where you're stuck in another country trying to get back into Thailand. So don't do that. Just get a long-term visa. But anyways, currently right now I'm back in America. After my 6 months expired, I had to fly back to America, and I did not want to come back to this place. I'm telling you, like, I did not want to come back here. But had to, because I didn't want to do that whole process of risking getting denied entry or being banned from Thailand. It's just not worth it. Very risky, very not worth it. So if you're thinking of doing that, don't do it. But anyways, I'd eventually come back to America, and oh man, it was hard for me coming back here for like the first few months. My head was not in a good place, because living in Thailand, that country is extremely like liberating and freeing to live in. It's so convenient, food's good, people are nice, everything's cheap. Like, when people say you can live there off of $2,000 a month and live a 10K a month lifestyle off of just $2,000 a month, that is true. I experienced it firsthand. Like, you can eat out every day, multiple times a day, and you won't spend any more than like $20 on like 3 to 4 meals in a day. I kid you not. Depending on the places you go to. Rent is freaking cheap. Like, I lived in a condo on the top floor for like $500 to $600 a month. Rent's stinking cheap. You don't need a vehicle. You don't have to have the headache of having a vehicle, treating it like a child, having extra expenses, having your car break down. I mean, if you live in Bangkok, you don't need one at least. But if you live in other cities, you might need one. But in Bangkok, you just get around by Grab, motorbike, by train, by walking, which I did all of that. I didn't have to have a car. But Grab is the equivalent to Uber in the States there, and Grab is very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. A couple bucks just to get around the city to one place. Uber here in America, minimum $20 just to go 5 miles. This shit's bullshit. But anyways, Yeah, coming back to America, my mental health was not in a good place for a long time because I had achieved my dream life, right? But sorry about the motorcycle, by the way. But I had achieved my dream life, but then I had to essentially what felt like for me go backwards into a place or a country that I did not want to be in, and I didn't know how to handle that mentally. And it affected me a lot. It affected my work. It affected my routine. It affected my nervous system. It affected everything. I guess I was depressed, you could say. And what I do for work, I day trade, right? That was not good. Like having my mind in this bad place was not good for my work. I couldn't get into the groove that I know to be in, right? That I was in prior. I couldn't get into that flow state, and I was just losing a lot of money because I was in a place, or still am in a place in a country where I do not want to be. And because of that, I tried to rush the process. I was doing things that I should not have been doing in the markets, making mistakes, silly mistakes, just overall just trying to rush it when I should have been patient. But this leads me to go into the next topic that I want to go into is mental health. If you're struggling with your mental health, you may not even realize what you're feeling or how to express what you're feeling in the moment because, as men, society tells us to suck it up, be a man, fucking if you cry, you're a bitch. It's not the case. Everyone has emotions. Everyone is human at the end of the day. If you're going through a dark time, man, just comment down below what you're going through, talk to someone about it, and I guarantee you talking will make you feel better about whatever you're going through instead of holding it in and instead of trying to be a man and power through it. Like, nah, sometimes you gotta, talk to somebody about it. Indulge and find new hobbies so you can take your mind off of things. And I found that the best way to get over depression is to just get out of the house, like do anything. It doesn't matter if you're going to the store, taking a walk, or just getting some fresh air, right? Like, get out of your fucking room and just look at the trees, feel the breeze, let the sun hit your skin. That it will make you feel better. And this leads me to go into my next topic, right? Or, subtopic. When I first got back, I was living with my friends, and this attributed to like my bad mental space. I moved in with my friends, and we had to move like it's like a week into me coming back to America. So I didn't have like stability when I came back, which also affected my work. And when I moved to a new place with them, I was sleeping in the living room. So my friends had already decided to move in to this place while I was in Thailand, but they allowed me to move in with them because we were close and we're boys and shit. And they had already found the place, so I didn't really have any say, but I didn't have anywhere to go. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll just take the living room. And trying to operate out of the living room and manage thousands of dollars and just like get into a normal routine, it is not easy. It's damn near fucking impossible. I took a few payouts during that time, but I couldn't like get into my zen flow state mode that I know to be in. I took a few payouts from prop firms, made a few $1,000s, but it wasn't consistent because my life wasn't stable, if that makes sense. And I struggled with this for a very long time. Struggled with trying to just find my own place. Struggled with just trying to organize my thoughts. Struggled with trying to focus on my work. Struggled with a lot of shit, honestly. And I didn't speak to anyone about it. I just like sucked it up, adapted, endured, because that's the type of person I am. I'll endure shit without speaking out to other people about it, because that's how I was raised, and that's how society tells men to be. Like, just suck it up, endure. And I don't know, during this time I was still hitting the gym. Like, even though I was not in a good headspace, I was still hitting the gym frequently every single day, getting stronger. But I was not satisfied with how my life was going. And eventually I ended up moving out of their place, right? Getting a better place. But over the past year, I haven't had the most stable living circumstances. And that is why I haven't been here on YouTube And like I said before, I'm greatly sorry for it. I apologize to each and every one of you. There was just some shit in my life I had to figure out, and I had to pull myself out of that fucking dark place. But now I have a better place. I'm starting to slowly get back into the groove and flow of things. But yeah, mental health is very important, especially if you're in a career or like an industry where you have to use your mind to make money. It's one thing to do labor work, right? It's easy. Labor work is fucking easy. But to use your mind, you have to make sure your life is stable in what you're choosing to do. Whether you're a day trader, whether you're a father, whether you're like a business owner, your mind has to be stable. Your emotions has to be stable. Your nervous system has to be stable. You have to have good habits. You have to have a good environment and good people around you. All this shit is very important. And coming back, I had good people around me, but my environment was just all over the place. My routine was all over the place, and it just affected me, my mind, and my work. And I wasn't making the money that I know I'm capable of making. And yeah, I struggled with this thought for a long time. I struggled with this feeling for a long time, and I don't know, eventually I came to the conclusion that, you know, things will unravel and work out how they should, because my goal now is to obviously go back to Thailand and to move there on the proper visa, a long-term permanent visa pretty much. And that's currently my goal, and I've been working very hard at this, and I've been very, very focused with this. I want to talk about what I've been doing currently as well. So right now, still trading. However, I'm not in the markets every day like I used to be, because I before I was approaching the markets in life with this scarcity mentality of I need to make something happen now, and that was causing me to force and rush things. Never rush the process in whatever the fuck you're doing, by the way. And I was just all over the place, you know. Now I'm trying to find a job, any job, right? Just to leverage my high income skill that I have, so I'm not entirely relying on it here and trying to rush things. I'm trying to slow down and do things properly, do things the right way. I know I posted a video a while back about never working a 9 to 5 again. I still feel like that, but I realize I have to change up my approach if I want to get back to the dream life that I already achieved. And you may be going through something like this too in your life. You may need to switch up your approach and take a different approach in what you're doing to achieve your goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's roadblocks, detours, and all types of obstacles in life, but that doesn't mean that your goal is completely unattainable. Now, me coming back here in America, another reason why I was so upset and I guess you could say depressed is because this country is fucked up. You guys know this. Everyone knows this, and if they don't know this, they're delusional or they're in denial. This country is very fucked up, and the goalpost in this country, if you want success, you know, success is subjective, right? But if you want success, the goalpost is constantly moving. It's constantly going forward because of a number of things: the economy, politics, fucking, fucking Israel, fucking the job market is cooked. I've been trying to find a job for like past week or so, and that hasn't been going well, by the way. I've submitted like at least 50 applications in a week, haven't gotten a call back. Anyways, but there's a lot of things wrong with this country, from the politics to the world leaders to the economics to literally the Epstein files. I think the only sane reaction to living in America currently is depression. If you're not depressed living here with the inflation, the fucked up job market, with the goalposts constantly moving, then I don't know what type of human being you are. You might be really resilient, or you might just be ignorant to what's going on around you. But you know, this place is pretty fucked up, to say the least. But this video is not about that. We'll get into that in more videos, upcoming videos. But I just wanted to update you guys on what I'm doing currently. Right now, I'm just, you know, taking things slow, trying to make it back to where I want to be, where I want to live long term, because America is not it. And also, again, with the mental health thing, if you're a young man or just a man in general and you feel like you need someone to talk to, comment down below, man. I want to cultivate a community of people and young men that can just support one another and be encouraging to one another, because we need it. We as men need it. You know, men's mental health goes unrecognized, and it's gone unrecognized for probably centuries. And that has to change, at least on my channel. If you're a young man or any young woman and you're going through anything, just comment down below what you're going through, and we can just have a conversation, or you can have a conversation with other commenters. This is a positive, non-judgment zone, judgment-free zone. Okay, so keep your head up and remember that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, with all that being said, I encourage all of you guys, if you're not hitting the gym, hit the gym. It's going to help you mentally. It's going to help you physically. I recently started training a combat sport, jiu-jitsu. It's been helping me a lot, honestly, just knowing how to defend myself against people larger than me, and just being able to have a hobby outside of making money, or just having a hobby, you know, just indulging in a new skill. It helps. Do things that are going to alleviate the stress and burdens that you may carry, because life is all about finding and minimizing stress, honestly. But if you made it this far into the video, I just want to thank you for watching this far. I'm going to be posting daily from now on, and I'm going to be giving you guys just sauce, wisdom, advice, and just being real. You know, I just want to talk to you guys like a friend. I want my videos to feel like you are talking or listening to a friend, because we all need a friend, you know? So thank you for watching this far. Comment down below if you related to anything I said, or if you just want to comment, that feel free to do so. And I thank each and every one of you for supporting me and messaging me on Instagram. And stay tuned on my channel for more up and coming videos. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you. Peace.